friends, yes, welcome to another episode of Nintendo Nightcap, bringing you all the latest Nintendo news, and today is the second video of the day. I was about to go to bed, but then my good friend Nash Weedle alerted me to her post, a post that he's just put on there on X about half an hour ago, and it's to do with a very exciting rumor concerning the Switch 2 camera. Switch 2 camera 2.0, if you will, because Nash Weedle is saying that the camera is going to receive some very exciting updates. He goes into a lot of detail actually in the post, but before we jump into it, my friends, if you like this video, you like what you see, why don't you consider hitting that like and subscribe? Helps the channel out. And now, my friends, let's sit together as we look at exactly what Nash Weedle said about this proposed Switch 2 camera update. Here we go. So, my friends, over there on X, we can see straight away it's got it translated into English, and Nash says, Leak Express, the Nintendo Switch 2 camera will receive new features. Avatars, he says, can be created that replace your image and reproduce your gestures through motion capture. It will be useful for game chat and games will be able to take advantage of it. And then he says, Mario copying your gesture. So this alone is pretty damn cool. I don't know how Nintendo is going to use it, but you can imagine they've probably got software lined up for this already. I can definitely imagine this in mini games like Mario Party actually. So this is already very, very exciting. But he doesn't stop there, friends. No, he continues. And he says this, he asks, a new wireless camera? Switch 2 is prepared for wireless connection with a camera. It could be related to a future augmented reality feature. And I 100% believe this, and I'll tell you for why, friends. Because in the past, we've seen a bunch of patents that show Nintendo it's at least considering and dabbling in augmented reality. There was a patent a while ago that showed two people playing chess. One of them was using a device with a camera and it was pointed towards a table where there was an augmented reality chessboard. And a second player joined in by using the camera on their phone pointed at the table, looking at the chessboard. So that's how they were playing together. So maybe this could do something similar. And of course, there was even another pattern showing literally little figures running around the living room, one figure climbing a lamppost. A light, I should say. So Nintendo clearly is looking into AR, and that's why I totally believe this rumor from Nash Weedle. But he doesn't stop there, friends. He continues, and he says this. The quality and FPS of the camera capture can be selected, even if we select a low range. The Switch 2 processes the image to increase the quality and give it a greater smoothness of movement. This could be aimed at saving battery on the wireless camera. Again, this makes perfect sense. And if Nintendo had planned to have people play, like, let's say board games in the same room, but one on the Switch 2 and one on the phone or whatever, and if it was wireless, right, you would need obviously a wireless camera and you would need it to basically last, right? So, you know, we know the Switch 2 battery at the moment is not exactly great, but if you were able to have the camera at a really low resolution and then use the Switch 2 to up-res it somehow, that would help it out indeed. So there you go. That is the entirety of the post by Nash Weedle on X. Super exciting leak, I think. Now, he doesn't say when these updates will be released. He doesn't say anything about a possible date, but there's quite a lot of information there in itself, right? So we're hearing about, as I said, avatars, you know, motion capture, and then we're talking about augmented reality as well. And it all seems to be aligning, as I said, with a lot of the patterns that we have seen in the past. But I'm very intrigued to see what you guys think out there. I don't know how many units of the camera Nintendo has shifted. I know that initially, before the Switch 2 came out, I was very interested in it, but then as time went by, I didn't know if I really needed it. But if these rumors are true and these updates, these new additions are added, then I would definitely reconsider buying the camera for sure. I think it will be a massive, massive boost to game chat software going forward. If we do have augmented reality, this could be quite a big game changer, and even more so in giving the Switch 2 more of an original feel, right? Like gimmick, if you will, right? More to basically put distance between that and the other boxes that play games. So this is very, very exciting. I definitely believe it. As I said, there's too much information out there for this just to be, you know, coincidence. But I want to hear from you guys. You know, are you excited about this? Would this make you reconsider buying the Switch 2 camera? Are there any features that you're not seeing here that you would like to see in a future upgrade to the camera itself. So there you go, my friends. That is the video for today. I'm going to try and ask some cheeky questions to Nash Weedle, see if he gives me more info. Make sure you follow him if you want to be get up to date with all the latest Nintendo news and rumors from that guy, definitely. And I will be back myself tomorrow, my friends, as I said, with all the latest Nintendo news. Until then, friends, have an awesome one. See you soon. Bye.